This weekend, a lot of Premier League games have had to be postponed due to an increase in COVID-19 cases amongst Premier League squads. I understand that the situation back in the UK is not great right now, given that the UK broke its daily COVID case record for the first time since the pandemic, and I know that new restrictions have been put in place. So before I start off the press, what I would like to say to everybody back home is just stay safe, get vaccinated, and when it is your turn to get the booster shot, please do so. You will save your life, and you save the lives of others by doing that. And for all of those players who are testing positive and are self-isolating right now, please get well soon. The reason why I wanted to talk about COVID at the start of that video was because something quite closely related to the pandemic and the people who've been helping to combat it relates to this week's Off the Press. Some NHS workers had an opportunity to meet the West Ham first team at Rush Green, and there was an interview with a few of them. Those people who went to visit, that is, on West Ham's official website, and I got to watch it myself. It was very interesting, actually. It was a nice surprise for them. I'll get more into that later in the video, though. One of the youngsters who featured in the game against Dinamo Zagreb has been described as, quote, a next gem. You're going to find out who it is. And Declan Rice has defended Michail Antonio after the striker faced heavy criticism as the result of poor performances. But first up, I'm going to be talking about the NHS workers, because this is quite a heartwarming and quite a lovely story. For the last 3 years, West Ham United has been doing its own 12 Days of Christmas. It runs from December 13th to Christmas Eve, and it's all about giving back to the community and saying thanks to people who've made a difference within the wider community in East London. And a lot of effort goes into promoting good causes and to donating to charities, and all of those do-gooder kind of things. On the first day, Mark Noble, Declan Rice and David Martin welcomed some NHS workers from Barking, Havering and Redbridge University Hospitals and the NHS Trust and the Bart's Health NHS Trust. They all came to Rush Green to meet the players, get autographs, take pictures and just talk to the players as well, which was a really nice way of saying thank you. I've said in previous videos that West Ham's a really big community club, and this kind of thing during this time of year is no exception. Christmas time's always a difficult time for a lot of people. I think with the pandemic going on, for a lot of NHS workers, that's a particularly testing time, because they have to go through a lot over the Christmas period, and balancing work with trying to make ends meet for Christmas time for their own families, trying to help other people's families get through this pandemic, some of whom have lost loved ones as well during that time and are facing Christmases without those loved ones. It's a time that's very difficult for a lot of people. And from what the interview said, there were doctors and nurses from these hospitals who said they had a really nice time meeting the players. They enjoyed meeting players such as Craig Dawson and Declan Rice. They were really lovely to get on with. Jared Bowen was seen signing a shirt in the video clip. One of the people who was interviewed was actually from Italy, but said that he supported West Ham as well ever since he moved over to the UK. And I was really glad to have the opportunity to meet the players in person. And these people deserve it. They deserve a lot, actually. More than just the thanks of a nation, more than the thanks of a football club. They deserve the world. Because those are the people who are putting their lives on the line so that you can stay at home, live comfortably, so you can't get this virus. And that's why West Ham United wanted to honour those people. Really, really good of the club to do something like this. And now, we're a class act as a football club usually. We've had problems in the past. We're a class act when it comes to giving back to the local community within East London. And something like this only seemed right. to give thanks to those who are defending against something that has become a really big worry and a dangerous killer. I did say earlier that a youngster was being considered a next gem within the West Ham team. And I can tell you that youngster is Manny Longelo. That makes absolutely perfect sense to me, really, because of how he played against Dinamo Zagreb. It was a special night for a lot of youngsters because the families were in attendance, and for many of them, it was a first opportunity to play with the first team in a real professional game. So, Longelo obviously wanted to make quite the impression. His family was in the stands. His brother, his parents, and some of his cousins, and even, wider family were there. Longelo had an excellent game against Dinamo Zagreb. Who cares West Ham lost that? The youngsters were still shined. Longelo looks an excellent left back. I think he could be the Cresswell replacement, if we want to talk about the long run. And Moyes is a manager who, as we know, likes to use his youth players. He's really dug his heels into the West Ham Academy and got out some of the most unlikeliest of talents. Names that you wouldn't have heard of, but names who have been really, really good. Longelo and Ashby were two names that stood out to me in that Zagreb game. Longelo's dribbling and crossing, brilliant. His way that he closes down players, brilliant. Cresswell is known more recent years for his crossing ability rather than he is his defending. And his defending is something that he's lacked on over the last few years. Longelo could defend. He could keep that side of the field tight, knit. And that was what really impressed me about him. So I have to say, is he a next gem? Got to be careful with that. Don't hype up a player too soon, or else they might end up not turning out the way you wanted them to be. So I'm not going to say whether he's a next gem or not. I'm going to say he's got big potential and a bright future. That is undeniable. But next gem? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Michail Antonio has been in very poor form recently. That's quite obvious. I mentioned in my Arsenal Aftermath video that he lost the ball 12 times in 45 minutes. He has only scored once in his last 11 games, which is complete contrast to what he was at the start of the season. And a lot of people have been getting on his back on social media because of it. I understand the criticism. I think that he's not been in good form recently, and there is a case to say that he should be dropped. Declan Rice has come out and defended Antonio, saying the whole team relies on him for goals, but he's not the only one person who's supposed to be doing it. And that's fair enough. Here's a team effort, and Antonio has been relied on in the past to stay healthy so that he can score those goals. Because he's our only fully fit striker, really. Declan Rice has been very honest in interviews and saying that West Ham's not been good enough in the last few games, and it's not the kind of form that gets you in the top four. For a man of his age to be that honest and be that mature about it, he's very rare in football these days, but he was. And he said what he said for a reason. Because it's not been acceptable in the last few weeks. And yeah, fans have the right to get on players' backs when the players don't play well. Antonio's included. He's not been very good in the last few weeks. I've said that. I've said that in loads of videos. But Declan Rice has basically told the fans it's not all on Antonio. He's not saying when Antonio's good about it, he's saying it's not all on Michail Antonio to score the goals. Like I said, it's a team effort. And fans should just realise that it's not just one player's fault that the team loses. And no one's saying that, really. No one's ever said, oh yeah, it's so-and-so's fault the West Ham lost, it's so-and-so's fault because they were individually trash. No, it's not been like that, really. Individuals haven't been good, but they're not the sole reason for defeats. There's a lot of other things when you take it into account, but Rice has had to defend Antonio because of heavy criticism. It wasn't really defending him, it was just reiterating that West Ham needs to find other people to score goals. And I don't care who does it. As long as we score the goals and win games, that's fine by me. It's not all on one player, though. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Off the Press. If you liked the video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe for more content. I was going to record a preview for the Norwich game, but I guess we're going to have to wait until that gets rearranged. A lot of people are angry because they can't get tickets refunded for trains and for transport to London. I understand that. That's just unfortunate, but unfortunately, the virus is spreading once again, cases are rising, and people's health is more important than attending a Premier League game. So everybody back in the UK, stay safe and get vaccinated and just do the right things, okay? Take care, everybody, and I'll see you all soon.